And just want to let you know I'm not a physician or a neuroscientist or any of that, even though I might cover some science things today. I'm just somebody who suffered from stress and anxiety really my whole life since I was a little girl. So for 26 years, I worked at Humana in the corporate world, and about 10 years ago, I was a single mom with 3 daughters. I got married to a man with 7 kids. So 4 of his are adopted. So we have a big blended family of 10. So we moved, into a house together. 8 of the kids lived with us because the other 2 were young adults living on their own. So, you know, the full-time job, the family, I had my mom, dad, and sister, all diagnosed with cancer the past 10 years. So it's like stress and it's just building up in my system. So my sister had a surgery about 5 years ago. And then part of her recovery was the doctor said you can exercise, and it's like, try yoga because it's a little less intense. So I went with her to a yoga class, and it was just amazing. It really did change my life. So we went. The teacher was excellent. We actually, at the beginning and into class, we breathed and had some mindfulness. It was just the first time I really was able to calm my mind and just feel so much better. So after the class, she and I are like, that was fantastic. So, so that was 5 years ago, and we were still hooked. So about, I guess after practicing yoga for about 2 years, I'm like, I just want to learn more, get certified. So I did, and then started teaching on the side, just a class or 2 a week. Just still loving it and just as passionate about it. And then I'm like, this full-time job just isn't cutting it anymore. I don't love it anymore. I want to do something different. So it's been a little over a year. So my husband and I, we worked it out. We decided to open a studio. So now I'm teaching full-time. There's another part of our business where we got a grant from the state of Kentucky, and we offer yoga services to 100 skilled nursing facilities in Kentucky. So I'll talk about that a little bit later too. So it's just like yoga's for everyone. Doesn't matter your age or anything about you. You can be in a nursing home, and it doesn't have to be intimidating. So I guess that's about my introduction. So we'll go ahead and get moving on. So this first slide, I'm just doing a little recap. I don't know if any of you all attended Dr. Page's workshop on the vagus nerve. So this kind of branches off of that. Let's see. So it says here it's the communication pathway between your brain and your body. So the important job, it's helping your body shift between 2 modes: survival mode, so what we know is fight or flight, and then recovery mode, the rest and restore, which is where the yoga comes in. So sometimes when we're stressed, our breathing becomes faster, our muscles tighten, the heart beats a little quicker, and that's our body preparing us really from danger. But really what's going on is not danger. It's just emails and deadlines and finances, busy schedules. So our body's responding to things like that when it's really prepared to respond to something much more dangerous. And then that stays in our body consistently. So the exciting thing is we don't have to be experts on the vagus nerve. We can just learn some simple things to naturally calm our nervous system and feel safe again. So slow breathing, gentle movement, mindfulness. So those are the practical tools that we'll talk about today. So this slide is kind of what Terry was just saying about just these 4 things. Some of them might be familiar to you, like waking up feeling stressed, before the day even starts, brain fog, always thinking ahead, never in the present moment, and then just feeling exhausted even though you're awake, difficulty falling asleep at night. So today's journey, this workshop, I'll tell my story, which I've already kind of gotten into, talk about understanding stress, and then the science of movement, and why movement and breathing are so powerful. And then I'll share why I started Harmony and Motion Yoga and get a little bit more into what we do there. And then finally, we're going to experience it together. So I've got a little, like a 10-minute or so chair yoga that we can do, and also a guided meditation at the end of our workshop here. So we'll dig right into my story. So I may have already shared quite a bit here. So here's a picture of my family. Yep, so I have 3 daughters, and like I said, my husband has 7, and big blended family of 10. After next week, the second youngest, we're moving away to college, so we're down to 1. So the third one over in that light blue dress, she's our baby, and she'll be a junior in high school. But everybody else, yeah, they're either in college or on their own, and we have 4 grandchildren now, too. So never a dull moment. No. So needless to say, working, blending the family, different parenting styles, just everything. It was quite a stressful time. We've come a long way. So then I tried yoga. And like I said before, I just went in with my sister just to try something new, see what it was all about, see if I like it or not. And it was not what I was expecting at all. So I just found an inner peace that I had never found before. It felt amazing. And it just allowed me to slow down and finally listen to my body, which I was ignoring for the majority of my life. So that brings us to stress, which we all experience on different levels. So I think a lot of us think it's just something that's in our mind, but it actually lives in our bodies. And there's a lot of signs and signals for that. For me personally, it was my neck. I always felt all kinds of tension in my neck. Every day I felt like I needed a massage so badly because everything was tight and knotty up there. So your head and neck, it causes headaches, jaw tension, the tight shoulders like I mentioned, that never quite release. A lot of people have back pain and just pain throughout different parts of their body. The sleep and recovery, if your sleep is consistently disrupted, you just constantly feel depleted even after a full night of sleep. So those are signals, so your body's asking for help. I've thrown in a few slides throughout just about science, and like I said, I'm not an expert, and a lot of this we already know. But the symptoms that happen when you carry stress into your body, your heart, the elevated blood pressure and your heart rate, your brain, impaired memory, your focus and decision making is impaired, chronic stress, it shrinks your key brain regions, and then sleep, that's a big one, disrupted cycles, harder to recover. And those stress hormones keep the nervous system alert when it needs to rest. And that's a big part of yoga as well. There's a type of yoga called restorative yoga that we offer at the studio. And some of the classes we just incorporated the last 15 minutes or so, but we have bolsters and you just completely relax your body and your mind and recover. So it's an excellent tool to relieve some stress. And then your immune system. I know a lot of people with high stress, they're sick all the time, so you may relate to that. And then muscles, just chronic tension and pain, because your body's staying braced for a threat that never leaves. And then what stress does to your body, which I mentioned earlier, you think something's a threat, your body goes into fight or flight mode, your heart rate increases, breathing becomes rapid, your muscles tense up, and then the chronic stress, just the alarm stays on. So your body was built for just short bursts of stress, not holding it constantly. So when it is constant, the recovery slows. Again, sleep suffers, you don't have as much energy, your focus declines. And then that little sentence there, your body doesn't know the difference between a charging bear and an overflowing inbox. So that is just kind of a funny little thing, but so true. So the goal isn't to eliminate stress, it's to teach your body how to recover from it. So then back to our little science spotlight. So here's a word, neuroplasticity, which I don't typically use in my vocabulary, but it's your brain rewiring itself just based on repeated habits. So we all know the more you do something, the more, the easier, I guess, that it becomes. So just forming new habits, new pathways. So healthy movement, intentional breath, and mindfulness create new neural connections over time. And it's never too late. So like I mentioned, at any stage of life, you can always change and make these kinds of changes and form new habits, healthier habits for your body and your mind. So moving on, that's going to be us in a few minutes. The science of movement. So your body was designed to move. And I think in our culture now, working out and these hardcore workouts where we're sweating all the time seems to be the norm, or you don't feel like you've accomplished anything unless you're doing that, and that's just simply not true. Your body needs to move, and it doesn't have to be anything intense or harsh. So just intentional movement and breathing. So things like walking, gardening, playing with your grandchildren, like all those things count. It doesn't have to be anything too intense. Chair yoga counts. Any kind of stretching. I stretch constantly. If I'm cooking dinner, I do a lot of standing yoga poses, like balancing poses. I'll just hang onto the countertop and, just kind of work it in throughout my everyday life. So more science here. So what movement can do for us? It doesn't just strengthen our muscles, so it changes our chemistry. So when we move, our stress hormones begin to decrease, our mood improves, sleep becomes more restorative, energy often increases, our brain functions better, balance improves, our immune systems become stronger. And then finally, a healthier brain. And then your greatest built-in stress relief tool, moving away from movement, is our breath. And that's one thing that was pretty profound to me taking that first yoga class 5 years ago, was the breathing. I had never done that before. Actually been mindful of my breath, slowed down my inhale and exhale, and it was just amazing how it made me feel. So it is the most powerful calming tool that we have. So it's the slow, intentional breathing. We do it at the beginning and end of our yoga classes where we have movement, and then we also have like yin and restorative classes where you pretty much just lay around in different poses, relax, and that activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It brings you to that rest and restore mode that we discussed earlier with your vagus nerve. So calmer breath, calmer nervous system, and a calmer mind. And then the little science spotlight there, just 1 minute of slow breathing. It can begin to activate your relaxation response. So let's experience that together. So if you don't mind, we're just going to sit comfortably. I mean, your feet can rest on the floor. We'll just do this just for a quick minute. Relax your shoulders. You can close your eyes or just soften your gaze so your eyes are relaxed. And then gently through your nose, slowly inhale for a count of 4. So inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Pause at the top and then exhale slowly, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And continue to this inhaling for 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. And then exhale for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And take 2 more breaths, just counting to yourself. And then just simply notice maybe your shoulders dropped a little, maybe your jaw softened, your mind maybe got a little quieter. So just this simple exercise, you can do this, you know, when you're sitting in traffic or before a big meeting or lying in bed at night when you're struggling, falling asleep. So just 1 minute. A 4 count of your inhale, elongate to longer exhale can have very nice benefits to your body and mind. So then moving on, so healthy aging. So I went into this a little bit, but opening the studio, I never thought I'd do such a thing. I just thought I'd retire from Humana and do this on the side, but it's been amazing. So one thing, I wanted to make it unique and different from other studios around town. So, well, the first thing we do, we have very low rates because I want as many people to experience the benefits of yoga because it's just wonderful. So it's affordable, accessible, and welcoming. So all the teachers I have and myself, we just try to make it, you know, like a no judgment space. You know, everybody, you know, come in and just do what you want, you know. Nobody's looking at anybody else. There's no mirrors inside the studio. That's a big one that's like, oh, that can be intimidating. And then we have the second thing there, serving those who serve. So we have discounted rates for a large group of people like teachers, students, seniors, first responders, military, healthcare workers. So it's a very large group. So the majority of our members fall into that category. And it's like a $40 a month unlimited yoga membership for them. And then just community. So we're in Anchorage. We've got, I mean, people are coming from all over. We have quite a few Anchorage residents. The teachers and healthcare workers are probably the largest group coming in. So the community's building and we're steadily growing. So it's been a little over a year. It was May of last year that we opened. And, you know, it went from 1 person per class and now we're up to 6 or 7 per class. And from the beginning, we offer about 20 classes a week. So I'm very happy with how it's growing. And then the other part of our business, which they are 2 separate things. This is kind of a, it's kind of how it looks. You know, it's the skilled nursing facilities. It's not live teaching. So these are videos. So I picked out over 250 is what we've supplied to them. So skilled nursing facilities, a lot of those residents are in wheelchairs, so it's mostly chair yoga. A large chunk of our videos are like breath work, guided meditation, things like that. We also have gentle yoga if they are able to get down on a mat, things like that. And then there's other parts of these facilities, like there's assisted care, like some of them are skilled nursing and assisted care where some of the residents are more mobile. So we've got plenty of videos for that group as well. Anyway, yeah, so that's the hope, is we want to grow this program. So we're starting it out. We're still in the implementation stage. We're about 75% there, where we actually have the equipment and props, and we use a learning management system where all the videos are housed, and activities directors are, playing the videos, and I'm just helping them with any questions and yoga related stuff. But we have other people working on this grant as well. So what healthy aging really looks like. So moving more and sitting less. So light activity, stretching, walking, building strength and balance. That's a very important, your balance, especially as you age. Falls are very common the older you get, so strengthening your body so that you can protect yourself against falls. And then staying connected and learning. So that's another thing, is the social connection, getting together, and mental engagement. It's very vital for our physical movement. And then managing stress daily. So just small, consistent practices that can compound to profound long-term health benefits. So then Act 5, your next step. So this is just a little slide, what I wish someone had told me. So in my 30s, stress accumulates and it compounds, and it's very hard to undo it. So I didn't even realize that then. I didn't realize I had all that going on inside my body. And then in my 40s, I wish I knew how productive rest can be, and that it's not lazy. I was still like, how much can I get done today? It's almost like, didn't feel like, I could rest. And now I'm in my 50s, and I have just a totally different mindset and perspective. I hear that strength matters more than you think, your muscles, your mind, and your community. And at any age, it's never too late to start. Your body's always listening, ready to adapt to something new. So this is just a quick slide, like my daily reset routine: breath work. I move my body, take a walk, or do my yoga. Stretching, I do a lot of stretching, releasing where I hold tension, a lot of in my shoulders and neck. And then gratitude. So I love gratitude, like to do that. Just think of what you're grateful for. It just helps calm the mind and put things into perspective. So, and this is just a question for you all. Something maybe you could start this week. Some breathing. Oh, a walk. Maybe a short daily walk. And then, of course, at the bottom, at the studio, first class is free for new people. So we'd like for people to come try it. If it's for you, great. If you don't think it's for you, that's okay too.